Finally, even the corrupt and compromised people running the UEFA and FIFA are beginning to realize that they can't possibly protect Israeli war crimes and their genocide anymore. After what happened in the last 1 week or so, Israeli stooges in the European and global footballing body are now finding it increasingly difficult to continue with the status quo. That's why, as I speak, the members of the European football body have begun talking about voting in a bid to throw the Israeli teams out of all forms of competition. The FIFA too is under huge pressure to kick the team from apartheid Israel that comprises terrorists and baby killers of Gaza and the West Bank out of next year's World Cup. And as expected, a rattled Donald Trump has come out in the open to use all his might to come to war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu's rescue. Meanwhile, terrorist Netanyahu has left for New York, where he is likely to address the UN General Assembly. But this time, he has found the airspace banned by several European countries. And Slovenia has become the first European Union member to announce that this Israeli barbarian would be arrested if he entered its territory. So as you can see, I have a plenty to unpack here. It's therefore important that you stay with me till the end. In a dramatic development, it has emerged that both the UEFA and the FIFA are considering banning Israel. The move has apparently been necessitated by the fact that the UN has finally called Israeli terrorism in Gaza a genocide.
Today we published our report analyzing Israel's conduct in the Gaza strip pursuant to the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. The Commission concluded that Israel has committed genocide against the Palestinian people in Gaza and that it is continuing with that genocide.
All being well, Israel should be thrown out of all European competitions before the FIFA does the same and stops this bunch of baby killers from normalizing their crimes against humanity by taking part in the next year's Football World Cup. That's because almost every Israeli footballer may have served in the military and therefore would have committed crimes against humanity in Gaza and the West Bank. And when Israel is facing the heat, who comes to its rescue? The Trump administration from the Israeli colony of the USA. Watch this clip from Sky News to truly understand how thugs like Marco Rubio are obediently working to serve their Israeli masters. That's their flipping definition of being America first.
Start there with breaking news, and Sky News has learnt that the Trump administration is stepping in to try to stop FIFA banning Israel from international football ahead of the 2026 World Cup. Football's world and European governing bodies are under pressure to suspend all Israeli teams over the war in Gaza. Well, our sports correspondent Rob Harris is here. So, Rob, just tell us a little bit more about this row within FIFA and what America are now saying.
Well, this week a group of UN external experts, special rapporteurs, said that Israel should be banned from international football, citing the Commission of Inquiry report linked to the UN, saying that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Those accusations are denied by Israel, but certainly there are growing calls for sporting sanctions to be imposed on Israel over the mounting death toll in Gaza. Now, we've not heard back from FIFA on this, and with them preparing for the World Cup in the United States next year, a significant intervention in this discussion. I have heard from the Trump administration who say they will work to prevent Israel being banned from international football. A spokesperson from Marco Rubio's State Department told Sky News, we will absolutely work to fully stop any effort to attempt to ban Israel's national soccer team from the World Cup. Now, it's quite notable to hear from them on this. The FIFA president, Gianni Infantino, is very close to Donald Trump. He's in New York this week holding meetings around the United Nations General Assembly, and we're yet to hear from FIFA. FIFA have been investigating for more than a year whether or not Israeli officials have been discriminating against Palestinian FA officials. FIFA is also investigating whether there is a breach of their regulations, the fact there are Israeli football teams from West Bank settlements playing in Israeli competitions. So it's an interesting discussion taking place now in FIFA with pressure growing on them.
Sports journalist Laila Hamid wrote on Twitter, and I quote, "European sources confirm several football associations are pushing for the vote to take place next week. If it passes, Israel would most likely be kicked out of all international football competitions. Next week could change history." End quote. The move comes on a day when we learned that the Amsterdam City Council has passed a motion declaring that Maccabi Tel Aviv unwelcome after their goons caused widespread riots in the city last year. A similar campaign is being launched in Birmingham, here in the UK. MP Ayub Khan and Councillor Mumtaz Hussain have said that thugs from Maccabi Tel Aviv were not welcome in the city. Maccabi Tel Aviv is expected to play their Europa League match against Aston Villa in November.
We're standing outside the Aston Villa Football Club here within the Aston ward of Birmingham. Along with me is Councillor Mumtaz Hussain, our local councillor. Many residents have raised concerns about the football match which is due to take place on the 6th of November. Maccabi Tel Aviv. We've all seen those harrowing images from Amsterdam. I've started a petition to boycott Maccabi Tel Aviv. There is no space for violence or any thugs to come into Aston or indeed Birmingham. That is why I urge everyone to sign up to this petition. Boycott Maccabi Tel Aviv. Councillor Mumtaz Hussain.
As elected councillors for the rule, you are the voice for the people, and this is something that the people of Aston do not want. So I strongly urge Aston Villa to reconsider hosting here in Aston. Thank you.
Elsewhere, Slovenia has become the first EU country to publicly declare that war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu would be arrested if he enters its territory. This is another powerful message from Slovenia just days after its president sent shockwaves across Israel and its colonies in the West with her powerful UN speech.
We did not stop the Holocaust. We did not stop the genocide in Rwanda. We did not stop the genocide in Srebrenica. We must stop the genocide in Gaza. There are no excuses anymore. None. The first example is the reform of the Security Council. We all recognize that it is the principal organ entrusted with the maintenance of international peace and security. But what it is not, and must never be, is a body that stands above international law to defend the interests of some at the expense of others.
You can watch her full speech here. This video has already clocked more than 2.4 million views within the first 24 hours. This bloodthirsty terrorist today left for New York. Journalist Matt Cunard shared this flight map of the dreaded Israeli terrorist. Matt wrote that Greece and Italy had allowed the war criminal to use their airspace despite an arrest warrant against Netanyahu, and both these countries being members of the ICC. However, this time Netanyahu wasn't able to use the airspace of France and Portugal, and even Spain. France and Portugal this week recognized Palestine, while Spain has already done so. Meanwhile, Trump has just told reporters that he expects the Gaza genocide to end, and he has held meetings with powerful Arab leaders. His words, not mine. To me, Arab sheikhs are slaves and therefore cowards. They are not powerful.
I just say that we want to get Gaza over with. I had a great meeting with the leaders of that area, of that region, generally speaking, the Middle East. We had a great meeting the other day at UNGA, as you know, and I think we're close to getting some kind of a deal done. Yeah, we want to get the hostages back. I have to get the hostages back. We're the ones that got the hostages, all of them that we have now. But it looks like there are 20 living hostages and probably 38 or so dead hostages. Pretty sad. And the parents of those dead souls, those dead, mostly men, boys, in many cases like literally boys, they want those bodies back so badly, as much as though they were alive. And so we had a very good meeting with the representatives of the most powerful countries in the Middle East, and I think we're going to be close to a deal. Strong dialogue going on with Saudi Arabia. With I would say you have 4 or 5 real leaders that are being good. As you know, I met with Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE. We met with Jordan. The King of Jordan was there. We had We had a really great meeting. I think a lot was determined at that meeting. And I have to meet with Israel, and I have to do that also. They know what I want, and I think we can get that one done. I hope we can get it done. A lot of people are dying. But we want the hostages back. We don't want them back, one this week, 1 and 2 months from now, 3 later, and like the way it's been going. We got them all back. We got a lot of them back. We got the American Alexander. We got the American hostages back. But we have now 20 plus 38 bodies, dead bodies. And we want them all back, and we want them back at one time. So I think we're going to be in a pretty good position. There are a lot of people that want that done. I met with great leaders. Look, you saw the people that were there, and great leaders. Egypt was also represented. We met with the leaders of that part of the world, and they want to see if they can get something done. And I'm going to have to tell Israel, let's go. We want to get the hostages back. Everybody wants to see that war over with, by the way. Everybody. So we're going to see what happens.
And if these setbacks were not enough, Hamas snipers today killed one more Israeli terrorist in Gaza. What does this say about the so-called bravery of Israeli terrorists 2 years after they have dropped tons of bombs and flattened the whole of Gaza by killing hundreds of thousands of innocent and unarmed Palestinians? In a nutshell, the world is finally waking up to the terrorism and ugly face of Israeli genocidal maniacs. Israel should have been declared a rogue state a long time ago. It's the root of most of the problems in the Middle East. No wonder many experts say that you remove this illegal settler colony from the equation and the world would suddenly become a better place to live in. It's that simple. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your support of this platform and our journalism on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you too think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. Details are there in the description of this video. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.